So I'm going to be talking about activity that we did in Dr. Power's class. Basically, the activity Dr. Power asked students in her class to do an infographic about infographics. So I'm going to do a reflection on this activity. Basically, he put us into different groups. So I had two other students in my group. And we did a group reflection after a class reflection. And actually, a number of students actually picked this activity as one of the ones that impacted or that they remember the most. And so I want to go through why was this such a engaging and impactful activity? I think a big part of it was that we had to work together as a group, and because a lot of activities we do on our own, and so cooperative learning, getting feedback, and getting other people's ideas, um, that really brought connection, especially that we're in an online environment. The other thing is that we also had to use a medium that we usually don't use. Like usually we use like like we do a Google slide presentation, but we were asked to do an infographic, which was very different. And and so that it was a challenging task. And what we find from Dirksen and is that you want to challenge people but provide enough scaffolding so that people and students are able to not give up, but then they are uh, motivated to give a lot of effort, which we did. And so we had to discuss, what tools are we going to use? So we thought about it, and then we decided to use. Actually, we thought of a number of tools. So I suggested Google Draw, um, and then another student suggested the one that we eventually used, and this is the one right here. And so let me go through this. Um, so the one that we picked was Canva. And what's the advantage of Canva? Canva, it has an excellent and short intro tutorial to get you started, and it has many advanced concepts, and it has templates for social media, blogs, presentations, posters, business cards, and invitations. So it was pretty easy to use. Now, the reason I suggested we use Google Draw was because with Google Draw, you're able to work on the same um, document together. The problem with Canva is that only one person could work on it at a time, but actually it worked out okay because I mean we had a period of time to work on it, so we just made sure that we only logged on when we were working on it, so that it gave people the opportunity to work on it and not take each other's time. So we didn't have any issues with that. Now, I wanted to address the issue of how actually doing infographics was a really good choice instead of doing a presentation because infographic, it's an easy and visual representation of information and makes complex information easier to share and digest. And it simply organizes your images, charts, and text. And you can see the images that we were able to use. And it was very useful. It's a great marketing tool for marketers to showcase their business outline. Quick overview of the topic can be easily provided, and it explains a complex process and raise an awareness about a cause or an issue. So what are some things that we had to think about when we were working as a group on the infographics? So we had to basically decide what graphics we did use. So for example, I use Google search, able to get images and then insert it right into the infographic. And I did find it very easy to organize the images, um, put in uh, the text. And as you can see, I mean, it's making a complex idea much more easier to share and digest. Like I, for example, this infographic, I shared it on Twitter, and we were able to share it basically on Canva with other students. When you're making your own, you can simply organize your images, charts, and text, and you can also cite your sources. Now, this course is related to adult learners, and adult learners were self-starters who take initiative over their own learning. So the use of infographics, especially for adult education, are useful because, you know, adults, they want their information more concisely. And in a asynchronous environment, it gives adults who are more time deprived, let's say, able to organize their own time. Now, whether intrinsically or extrinsically motivated adults, learners, I mean, they strive for success, and infographics can guide them towards answers they're seeking to make this process possible. Now, I just want to go quickly through communities inquiry. So during synchronous engagement, communities of inquiry allow for purposeful discourse through file sharing capabilities. The use of infographics can help in the forming of new knowledge for various members. And that's what we're going to be doing later. We have to do a poster um, of a lesson plan. And on Tuesday, I'm going to be presenting my poster. And so I'm going to be, and what I did was I also used Canva as a tool. Knowledge sharing workplace learning is an informal training and a necessity for the betterment of the company. Learners of all cognitive abilities can share information through the use of a well-designed infographic. So this is something that, you know, everybody can use, and it's so there. Sometimes for adult learners, if they find it's too complex, they will give up. And with infographics, because it's because of its ease of use, they're less likely to give up, and they're gonna carry through with it. And so I went through Canva. Some other tools are Easly, Pictograph, and Infogram. Um, so with Easly, if you're looking for a design infographic, this program will work well. There's not, but the problem is there's not much variety. With PictoChart, it's easy to use. It offers freedom in building and editing your infographic using simple graphic tools, but there's a limited selection of free templates. And Infogram, it has the best charts for illustrating data. There are more than 30 different types of charts to choose from. And download options, though, require paid subscription. And often, um, from experience, it's you know, teachers, they're hesitant to pay for subscription because if they pay for it and it's sort of it's not as what they thought it would be, then it's a waste of money. So free trials and free versions are really important to get, especially educators to try an app. So that summarizes my reflection on the activity. And so I will